Our sixth choice in many respects might be the most pathetic person on the list, but he might also be the most badass person on the list. It's Marv from Sin City. This is probably the most violent film I've ever seen. And I don't mean violent as in gory, although it's definitely that. I mean that literally, I don't think there's a minute that goes by without some form of violence being committed. It's just insane. I don't think there's 60 seconds without someone getting punched or sliced or jabbed or slapped or something. So one would think it's hard to get a lot of character development in there. But in my opinion, Marv is one of the greats. He's a deformed man that spends most of his life living with his mom, getting drunk, and just hanging out in strip clubs. Not the most glamorous of people. But when a beautiful woman named Goldie gives him the night of his life, and then is murdered the very same night, Marv finally has a purpose in life. All the insults, all the drunkenness, all the loser traits he often associates with himself suddenly mean nothing because now he has something to live for, and more importantly, die for. He wants to avenge the death of his lady love simply because she was the only one who was ever nice to him. And that's it. There's no other reason. He didn't even know anything about her. He doesn't even know what her personality was like. But she was the only one that even for a moment gave him something that he never even knew existed. He spends the whole entire movie just trying to avenge this woman. It's so simple and yet so perfect. That kind of dedication is hard not to find fascinating. It says so much about what he's gone through in his life. He describes himself as so ugly as he wasn't even able to buy a woman. Which, I don't know. Is he really that bad? Ladies? But the one thing that does shine through is that he's an all-out action star. Just look at these fight scenes. And he enjoys every minute of it because he knows he finally has something to fight for. The all-or-nothing days, he describes it. He kills, he maims, he tortures, he rips apart, but all in the name of someone that many people say doesn't deserve the light of day as well. In many respects, there's a great association there. Both are two people that many would assume wouldn't amount to anything. But the fact that they crossed paths, went through this series of events, and managed to share even the most animalistic of urges with each other, creates a passion and a dedication that can't be destroyed. And the more die-hardcore this guy goes with it, the more you appreciate his quest and that he just never wants anything to get in his way. And the more you start to realize nothing will get in his way. He's just unstoppable over something so simple. But it's the only thing he's ever had in his life. The only thing he would ever describe as actually beautiful. And to him, that's worth everything. And on top of that, he's just so good at it. Look at this guy in action. He is just awesome. This is testosterone bursting to the nth degree. Yeah, it's childish and unbelievably comic bookish, but it's not the violence that makes it interesting, it's the motivation and character. It's the fact that somebody who had nothing to live for suddenly does, and he's willing to go all out for it. It's the fact that his life suddenly has purpose. And you can identify with that, because everybody has gone through some point in their life where they have felt worthless, and they want to bounce back. And here's a guy who's had most of his life just that. But now, he has meaning. And he's not gonna waste one more second of his once worthless life not to live it out. Marv is a dedicated loser, puts it all on the line to become one of my favorite characters.